Hi everybody, here's a video to show you how to take through Design Space 4 files that have been out for a really long time, but I had a request to add Studio 3 files and Canvas Workspace files to the Etsy listing, so I've taken this opportunity to make a different video because the other one was not brilliant, and I've just revamped the instructions as well because they needed that. This has been out a really long time, this file. So basically it's a bundle of 4 files which enable you to make C5 and C6 envelopes. The C5 are 229 by 164. If I can just get my ruler in front of me, I can give you the approximate inches. So nearly 230, 9 inches by 6.5-ish. And they come in 2 depths, same size, you know, length and width, but then 12 millimeters and 18 millimeters deep, which is about ½ an inch and then 3/4 of an inch. The lovely envelopes, you get a closing flap which you can cut in a contrast color, and then a decorative front flap which you can choose whether you use or not. You don't have to use it. So that's and then you get, as well as C5, so that's the C5 ones, showing you the 2 depths there, and these are C6, which they were made originally as a request, so these are to take if you made a card which was 1/4 the size of an A4 sheet, and these are 229 by 164, so it's pretty much the same as, it's 9 inches these by, oh no, we're still on a C5 there, aren't we? Hang on. C6, 162 by 116, so 162 is the 6.5 inches, 116 is about 4.5 inches, and again you've still got those same depths, 12 mil and 18 mil, ½ an inch and 3/4 of an inch. You can see the 2 different depths there, and as I say, the flap and this decorative front flap are designed to be cut in a contrasting piece, so you can make it a different colour if you want to, you don't have to. The larger envelope is cut in 2 pieces. You join a front and a back together, and the C6 envelopes are cut in a single piece with just separate pieces for the 2 flaps. So let's go to Design Space and we'll bring in one of the 2-piece files and one of the single piece files, and then you can see how they both work. So they're all in my library at the moment, but I'll bring them in from scratch. People have asked me that they prefer to see it that way, so upload image. And then at this window, I always click browse. If you don't have Design Space on a full screen like I do, you could just drag. But I'm going to click browse, and then you would navigate to the file in the usual way. You'd use these to get to the folder, and then a bit further on you might use this one. I'm already there because I've been bringing these in today. So I'm going to bring in the deepest C5 one, which is the biggest envelope. At this window, you just click continue. At this window, you could give it a different name if it means something to you. You want to call it different than I've called it, but if you don't, just click upload. It lands on your canvas already selected, so the first thing you need to do is ungroup it. I'm on the desktop version for PC. Ungroup for me is at the top of the layers panel over here on the right hand side. It's this first icon at the top, first of those 3 icons, so just ungroup it. That allows you to see the 2 groups of lines and cut pieces inside, and with my SVGs, the lines that need converting to score always live in that first layer there. So just click on it to select it. You can see it's gone green. Go to your operations menu, top left hand corner, click on where it says basic cut and choose score from the drop down, and you can see that those lines have been converted now. And because there's more than one set, if we toggle that group open, you can see there's 4 individual sets. We need to ungroup them. So just click on that same ungroup icon and then click on the group of cut pieces underneath, and all you need to do there is ungroup. So now everything on canvas is separate, and we can attach individual score lines to the individual pieces that they relate to. Got to be done piece by piece, or you'll end up with a project which Design Space will tell you is too big to cut. But it's only because you've attached too many things together. So quickest way, I think, click on canvas somewhere near a piece, drag a box to more or less enclose it, and click attach, which for me is at the bottom of the layers panel. And do that for all pieces on canvas because they've all got score lines in this case. I'm making mine here with contrasting pieces for the 2 flaps that close the envelope and decorate the front. And the main body from something else. I'm not going to save it. can though, yeah, we need, in the US you can make these from letter. They fit on letter. They're too big for A4, too wide, I think. Yeah, I think it's that they're too wide. And then these pieces here, obviously you could choose A4 or letter. But if we just go back to the canvas, yeah, they will actually easily cut from an A4. So in Europe, what I would do, click make it, and we're going to choose 12 by 12, and they still end up on a mat on their own, the front and the back, but I would choose A4 here, and all I would do is I would just position my A4 paper. The issue is going to be with the length of it, but if you see where 21 is, that is where an A4 sheet would come to. It's just that Design Space likes to leave big margins, so I would just place a sheet of A4 on this mat, and I might just drop it a couple of millimeters away from that very first white line on my grid, right there, and then you'd be sure that you've got plenty of space at the bottom, but actually it will fit on anyway. Same for the envelope front piece, and then of course we can choose, yeah, I was wondering if we could get both of those on one piece of A4, but I don't think we can. Let's just zoom out a bit. I'll just try it, but I don't think you can. I just do like to be as frugal as we can possibly be. No, won't fit. So yeah, so you'd need 4 sheets of A4, but just remember you'd have to choose 12 by 12 to fool your Cricut. It doesn't matter what you put on your mat, you'd have to use the standard mat anyway. Obviously the machine doesn't know what paper you've put on your mat, so you can put A4 on there even though you've told it you're going to use 12 by 12, and then 2 sheets of A4 for that. But as I said, which is quite nice, you can choose letter for the whole thing, and let's choose letter for those as well. So you can actually cut that from 4 sheets of letter. In America, we don't generally get letter size card over here. Right, so that is the 2-piece envelope, and that was the biggest one, so it's going to be pretty much the same for the other 2-piece one. It's only slightly different in the depth. So that's how you handle the 2-piece file. I say 2-piece, I mean that the front and back comes in separate pieces. So I'll bring in the single piece one now. So that's going to be one of the C6 ones. I'll bring the biggest one in again. It looks like this. Continue here. If you don't want to rename it, just upload. It lands on your mat already selected. I'll just zoom in a little bit. First step, as before, is to ungroup it. That lets you see the 2 groups inside. Select the top one, go to your operations menu and choose score. And you can see that those lines have been converted now. Because there's more than one set, we've got to ungroup them. So it's that first icon at the top of the layers panel. Then we select the group underneath, which has the cut pieces in it. Just ungroup those. And now we can attach scores to individual pieces. As we did before, click on the canvas, drag a piece to more or less enclose it, and attach. But here you can see, because this is a much smaller envelope, we can actually get the front and the back and the base from a single cut piece. So we'll attach the scores to it, and then we're ready to go. And I think we should be able to get this one from A4. Oh, still. I mean, you absolutely could. Let's just go back to the canvas. Bit silly, isn't it? So that is, yeah, so there you'd have 8mm to play with, which is a good 1/3 of an inch in Europe. So I would still use A4 there. So again, I would choose 12 by 12, but I would put my sheet of A4 on there. Oops, just zoom back out a little bit. Sorry about that. I'll put my A4 on there just a couple of millimeters away from that very first white line, and then you've got a little bit more space. Oh no, it's the width. It's the width on this one. So I'd put it just a couple of mil away from the very first line at the left. I mean, that's where 21 is. You can see it's actually big enough to fit it on anyway. It's just that Design Space likes to leave much bigger margins, but this piece will cut from A4. So if this one does, this is the bigger C6 one. The smaller, the sort of the shallower C6 one, this is the 18mm one. The shallower one will also cut from A4. In the US, you can just, why won't it let you choose letter? Yeah, it will work. Letter is 279 long. And if we just go back to the canvas and have a look, 267, you've got 12 mil, you've got nearly half an inch to play with on this. That's just crazy, isn't it? And it's 216 wide. So yeah, this will cut from A4 or letter. You just need to be a little bit canny where you put your paper. Just drop your paper. It's going to be the length if you're on letter, it's going to be the width if you're on A4, but they will cut from A4 or letter. But if you want to use 12 by 12, that's absolutely fine. And obviously, if you are using 12 by 12, then these two pieces, they'll both fit on a sheet of 12 by 12 easily. I mean, they'd both fit on a sheet of A4 or letter as well. So nice economical envelopes, these, and really quite deep. You can fit nicely embellished cards in these. Right, I think I've shown you everything I need to show you. If you've got any issues when you come to cut or assemble them, please do get in touch. I'm always happy to help. The links to get in contact are in the description below this video. And if you've just stumbled across this video and you'd like to buy the SVG, there's a link there to do that too. Don't forget, if you're purchasing 3 or more SVG files at one time from the Tanglecrafts Studio Etsy shop, the link is in the description, you can use the 30 for 3 discount code to get 30% off your total purchase. This offer runs all the time, but you need to use that code when you check out. And if you haven't already joined the Tanglecrafts Studio Facebook group, join now to get any special Etsy discount codes issued to group members and to take advantage of the free SVG files I give away in the group from time to time. The link to the group is in the description. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.